Nova is here, he's the leader of Alpha, leading the charge. Yeah. With his main man Heavy, hit up right by his side at the raid. Together they fight, the drugs that corner, rich and valor, fighting for good. They refuse to back down in this war for justice. They wear the crown. Nova and Heavy Hitter, they rise from the dust. For the cause, they never back down. With Big Boy Leroy, his feet firmly underground. In the face of danger, they fight through it all. Champions of hope, they rise to the top.
This one about you, okay? See a man was a tree, so we all walk now. Feel like
through shadows of doubt, they light up the way. With power and purpose, they seize every day. Their enemy tremble in the dark. Nova and Heavy Hitter, our heroes embark in the big galaxy that's covered by night. They bring the fire and ammunition to ignite. For it's Alpha they serve, their honor was true. Nova and Heavy Hitter, they rise from the dust. Fighting for the cause, they never back down. With Big Boy Leroy, his feet firmly underground. In the face of danger, they fight through it all. Champions of hope, they rise to the top. For every shadow, they bring the light. Nova and Alpha, defenders of the right.
And now you get to see me do a little dance. This is Corey and Investor Dark Matter right here.
Yes. I'm talking AGP, anti-gravity project. I respect, staying true to the tech. We got the evil address and the pink Miss Will. Got the dark matter token going up, I can tell. Hey, I can tell this is the start of something fresh. Shout out Hex Revision and Donna Hex, yes. I confess, Hexicans don't stress, cause as a community we one of the best. So tell me, are you in, or tell me, are you out? Do you want to win, or do you chase the clout? What is this really about? The treasury and lottery. If you meant dark tokens, you can get a part of it. So how does it work? Let me explain. First you buy the dark token, now you're in the game. Then you mint the dark and get a fuel cell. That's an NFT, one that earns yield. As long as you have it, it feels like magic. But if you vaporize the NFT, that's tragic. So most think crypto is a game. Are you here for the fame, or here to make a name? See, Hexicans reign, we create our own lane. I thought I told you, we the new financial gain. AGproject.io with the flow. And if you know what I know, then you know what I know. That's just how it go. Something like to support the team, the dream. Public service announcement, t.me/anti-gravity saga is the telegram. Tap in. It's for y'all. I'm talking AGP, anti-gravity project. I respect, staying true to the tech. We got the evil address and the pink Miss Will. Got the dark matter token going up, I can tell.
There we go. I love that song. I'll play that over and over. In fact,
it's a pretty catchy tune.
It's part of our art contest right now. You can actually vote for that song, and you can vote for the music video that AJ Rip City Hex made for it. So we got the gang piling in here. We got Ted Nelson. Afternoon, all. Good afternoon, Ted. Great remarks on the Zoom call for no permissions yesterday. Appreciate that. Moonmutt's in the house. Red Squirrel. Oi, oi, pops. Afternoon, Ted. Defenders of the right. And no, it's defenders of the right. It's not the Reich. You've got to quit telling people that. Hey, kids. Hey, Moonmutt. Wilhelm is here. Guten Abend. Guten Abend, Wilhelm. I'm just here for tech support. Thank you. Hex T. Armstrong. Tracy G. in the place to be. Good afternoon. Hex T. Armstrong. I just paid off $100 for $94 on ink printer. I just paid off $100 for Oh, so he actually went in and did an ARB on the ink printer dollar. It looks like where it was low. So he just like bought it and flipped it for another die. Die Hard Hex King. So good to see you here. Hi, Max. Hi. Smo Spider with the medals. Yeah, Smo Spider has also got a bunch of art in the art contest. Go check that out. Retro Static. Hi. CryptoCat 46. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, CryptoCat. Where in the world is Carmen CryptoCat San Diego? And of course, Guten Abend, Ervan Krutzen. Too much German in our. I think we're going to start getting German followers just because of the silliness from Red Squirrel and XT Armstrong. Okay, so you're in Arlington, Texas right now. Get it? That's quite a bit of ways from home. He's on the road trip, so we'll check in with him every day as he throws up his Starlink to buy crypto and participate and probably also to watch. It says, I hope we're going to have a step-by-step guide. I've been looking at the site, but I still can't work out what to do on Actuator. I hope it will click today. Retrostatic, you're not alone, because a long time ago, we were working with the Forge, and I'm looking forward to some updates in the Forge that I'll bring to you guys as we can share those. But basically, it was this launch pad where, Bill and Robbie were working on Actuator. We were over there working on dark matter and anti-gravity. And so I went to their website because I golfed with Robbie in Vegas. And I said, Robbie, I know what the winning move is in anti-gravity. You just mint the fuel cells. Get dark, mint the fuel cells, just like Corey and Investor raps in the song. First you get the dark, then you mint the fuel cells, one that earns yield, As long as you have it, it feels like magic. If you vaporize it, that would be tragic. So you don't want to unwrap or burn, or as we call them, vaporize those ever. So that's basically the whole gameplay. And it goes a lot deeper, but if you just start at that one point. So I said, Robbie, the hack in our game is to just mint as many of the fuel cells as you can and buy as many of the older fuel cells if they ever come available on the market, because they get a higher yield. The older, the better. We don't have bigger pays better. We don't have longer pays better. We have older pays better. So this right here, this is like the art that's attached to the first NFT. We call this the Michael Jordan rookie card, because this one gets the highest yield from the treasury forever, basically. Anyways, I turned to Robbie. Robbie, what's the God move on Actuator? What do I just need to do? And he's like, the farms right now are paying like 60% or something like that. And I said, great. Tell me how to do that. And so he did. He sent me on Telegram. There's basically four steps that you need to start making passive income and hold liquid TShares at the same time. It's a beautiful system. But even I was going back into the website, and they have a bunch of really good instructional videos at the bottom. So you kind of have to go through one, then go through the other, then go back to one, because it takes a second to link them together. One of the videos listed is me interviewing Bill and Robbie like a year ago.
Right.
I don't even remember those questions. I don't even remember those answers, because one day in crypto is 1,000 years in the regular world, right? So I was watching myself going, I don't even remember going through this, because it was so long ago and everything's been changing in crypto so quickly. And so, yeah, I have a video on their website that I remember making it. I just don't remember what we went over, but there's so much complexity and thought that's been put into Actuator, and so many if-then scenarios that they've had to code in and do. So yeah, today we're going to go through a step-by-step of the site, and we'll show you guys what to click on and where to go through all four steps. Now, you can just go and delegate a stake on there and have liquid TShares, right? Based on how far out you want to stake your hex. That's just like the very easy, simple thing that a lot of people can do. And it's better than sitting in hex, because if you sit in liquid hex, you're getting diluted by the inflation in hex. So you definitely, at minimum, want to stake it somewhere like Actuator or one of the pools in Stakehouse. Like, you want to get it work. You want that hex working for you, right? So we'll go over that just really briefly. But then, like I said, there's about a four-step process where you can extract your HTT tokens. You can pair them with the liquidity of Hex or Pulse or something on the chain. And then you can deposit those and earn Actuator tokens like by the second. And so we'll go through that. In fact, I probably should have thrown some Hex and some Actuator. I'm sorry, just some Hex in this wallet. I did actually cash out some stuff from OX Bistro, which is another site we're going to go to, because I plan on taking profits in Actuator on OX Bistro. Why? Because I like money, but I also don't want to hurt the bags of something I hold. So we'll go over that as well. But I've got some money in here. So let me start by sharing. I'm going to share the screen. We're going to buy some Hex. We're going to go to the Actuator website, and we're literally going to go through step by step.
That's a great place to start. If you just started with Hex, you can do everything you need to from that. And then you can learn how to branch off, on the other capabilities once you've got that down.
Yeah. So I'm going to freeze my cute little face here, and I'm going to put our faces down at the bottom. I can actually remove them if I need to. If you guys need to see something in this corner, let me know. And then I'm also going to come back here and check. CryptoCat Bistro is great. Yeah, CryptoCat and XT have made some damn good deals on Bistro, so we'll get into that. But here we are. This is my whole screen. You're not supposed to do this. Don't ever do this, kids. You can get crazy messages from ex-girlfriends popping up in the screen. It's not a good idea. But
we're seeing, your whole kaleidoscope telescope screen. Is that what you want?
So this is the infinity screen. But basically, I don't want to hit share every time I go to a different tab.
Oh,
So I
I see.
take the risk of insane stuff popping up on the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
And for now, you can see this is my stream wallet. And inside of here, I've got about $189 worth of DAI. So let's go to my favorite place to buy and sell if I'm doing straight off the market and I don't have time to wait for Bistro. We're going to go here to TShares. We're connected. And so I'm going to take some of this DAI right here. Let's take $150 worth of DAI. And let's buy Hex, that the token that is tattooed on my shoulder for life. So here we go. We're going to buy $150 of Hex off TShares. Looks like I'm going to get a good deal. Like I'll actually get a 0.5% extra because someone is selling, possibly. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, but we'll sign and confirm there. And now we're going to get a pile of Hex, and we're going to head over to the Actuator website. Oh, there's the jingle of joy or jingle of death. Looks like it worked out. So I've got about 23,000 Hex to work with. So we're going to jump over here to the Actuator right here. Actually, this is one of the docs that I popped up because I was trying to understand one of the extraction method. So let me see. Let me go back to, let me get rid of docs right here. And we'll just go to actuator.finance is the website. And I'm actually going to put this in the comments as well, so you guys know for sure which one nope, did not want to do that. Let's go back. Actuator finance right here. So here it is. I think I hit paste instead of copy, but I'll copy this right here. There we go. Wrong button. Okay, so we're going to copy this, put it in the comments so you guys don't get sent to a phishing website by accident. This is the actual website right there, Actuator Finance. And we'll go into here. And as you can see, this first page is great because, like I said, it basically shows you what's going on here. It gives a really good overview of the system, and it breaks it down into what you need to understand. Delegate stakes, mint HTT tokens, and then you can redeem the HTT tokens 1-for-1 with Hex at the end of the stake. So like this is a very easy breakdown. And again, this is where there's a video from Pulse Ray Vision that he doesn't even remember what he learned back then. So it's good to always come back. It usually takes 2 or 3 times with a project to really get the hang of it. But you got that. You got Nate McGettit, a very, very good thinker. Like Nate McGettit is one of the best interviewers over on DGen Roundtable. And then you got these guys going through the farm, the Actuator token, how to mint the HTT tokens, and how to farm ACTR. And then you can also earn HTT again through another mechanism that we'll go through. But basically, this is come here, Crypto Sloth. I mean, if you want to learn something, Crypto Sloth is the man to go to as well. Corey Costa, an excellent interviewer, and Corey Gary. Like you guys got really the best of the best. Not pumping myself up here, but yeah, the Nate McGettit, Sloth, Corey Costa, Corey Gary, all really good interviewers, really good presenters. So come in here and check these out if you got any questions or if you just want to learn more. But we're going to try to do this all in one video, and so we'll launch the app right here. And as you can see, it's already connected here, and it's giving me an option from here. So what are people seeing here when they go to the dashboard, Bill?
Well, what they're seeing, and thanks for having me on. This is great to be able to take people through.
No, wait. Oh, you know what? I've done a horrible job hosting, Bill. I didn't introduce you properly. I'm going to unfreeze my cute little face here in the corner just for a second. Bill, like I said, we met through the Forge. And it was so interesting what they were doing. And it took me a lot of listening to you guys in the Forge to simplify it and be like, oh, These are liquid T-shares. It's kind of like Maximus DAO, if you've heard of Maximus DAO, right? You basically have a tokenized T-share, and then you can do some cool stuff with it. But it took me, honestly, a couple hours of listening to the whole thing to extract that one nugget. And then when we were down in Panama with Randy Permissions, Randy Larsky's No Permission Conference, Bill gets up on stage and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna do a live demonstration." And I was like, "No, he's not. No one ever does live demonstration. Even the people like at Apple and Jeff Bezos and Twitter, they don't do live demonstrations in front of people because that something always goes wrong. Something always freezes, or you get the blue screen of death." And I thought, this guy is either lying or he's crazy. It turns out he was crazy, because because you're also depending on the hotel's Wi-Fi. Like, there's so many things that can go wrong. I thought, Bill's nuts. Bill's one of the craziest founders I've ever met. And he got up there and it worked. Like, it actually worked. And I think I was so astounded by the fact that it was working that I didn't even follow along back then. And this is like a month ago. This is not long ago, folks. And so, yeah, Bill and Robbie are both people that came to this space trying to solve a problem. So let me ask you, before we jump into the tutorial, what problem were you guys trying to solve, and what was your background, and what was your solution?
Okay, yeah, thanks, and appreciate the chance to get on here. There's probably some folks that have heard me before and some that haven't. So, quick overview. Both Robbie and I come out of the TradFi world, specifically the institutional bond market. I come out of it on the sales, trading, and analytics side, where we worked with large institutional client portfolios and their bond portfolios. And there you're doing things like risk management, you're doing portfolio construction, you're doing relative value trading, optimization, you're doing all these fancy pants things in the bond world. But it's important to realize, coming with a bond background, bonds are just wrapped cash flows. Suddenly I come over here into this hex universe and I'm doing, it's a day one hexagon, and really immediately saw the value in what was happening here, because my mind is used to thinking wrapped cash flows and all the cool things that you can do with that. So the blockchain CD meme kind of stuck with me. And so jumped in, started doing all the staking and all of that. And then that worked great all the way through big payday and into 2021 and all the peaks. And then, of course, there's the other side of that cliff where everything rolls off and you go into 2022 and things go the other way. And in that decline, it occurred to me, man, well, I was excited to get all these stakes out there and have some liquid and some staked and all this. Seems like we could probably have a little more nuance to be able to get sort of a market disciplined access to liquidity when we need to. And that could enable some broader strategies and tooling that I was accustomed to having in the institutional bond space. I'm like, well, man, I mean, we should be able to do this and this and this to be able to manage our portfolios, but we didn't have those tools. And now in the case of Hex, I realized, it takes some care, because the fact that you can't access liquidity was a feature, not a bug of Hex, right? The idea is stake it and you can't get to it. So it's firmly off the market and there's nothing that can be done. Well, that's a great starting point, and I can appreciate that. But now we've gotten, we're in year 6 now. And at the time that I was contemplating this, it was year 5. It seemed like it's time for some nuance to that if we're seeking to attract large capital investors. And, we're getting to the point where we want to grow the ecosystem. Well, with a foot in both camps now, where, longtime crypto and hexagon on one side and understanding something of the large capital investor's mind on the other, there was some bridging to do. And I've presented to a lot of my former clients. I've got them as clients in other capacities. So the inspiration was to bring some element of liquidity to us as stakeholders, so that we don't just have to sit on piles of liquid Hex. Because in the beginning, we extended too far out over our skis. We got spanked because we had way too long in our mind that we were comfortable with, when prices and markets went down. And now the boomerang goes the other way. We don't want to stake anything anymore. We just want to hold big bags of liquid hex and not earn. So we wanted to get in that gap and say, no, you can do better than that. You can have some liquid. You can lean farther forward with staking because you have some access to liquidity and the ability to manage risk and flexibility in your portfolio. And that's what we ended up building.
Yeah, I love that. A Corey Investor just showed up. I'm late to class today. What's up, Max and C3 Works? What's up, Lori? We were just bopping to your tune earlier. But as you were saying, a lot of people aren't familiar with the term family office. Not many people in crypto really have these connections to people that are managing very large amounts of money. So when we got Hex and we actually had a protocol that we could trust with our money to actually pay us back, that was a huge evolution in crypto. I mean, everyone joined these cloud farming things. They joined BitConnect. Every time someone trusted someone with their crypto, surprise, surprise, they ran away with the money. It was just a systemic problem. And so when Richard Hart came out and gave us actual numbers and immutable code, it was something that people like myself were very our mind was blown. We're like, oh my gosh, we actually have some certainty here. And you deal and have talked and been around people that certainty isn't just like a request, it's a requirement. These people are not going to invest 10, 20, $30 million into something unless they know the risk, the exact risk by number, the exact reward by number, and so forth. Right?
And they manage it a bit. You've got to be able to manage your risk. You can't just take a position and accept whatever the risk is for the next X years. There's got to be some element of managing it.
Yes. Yeah. So he brings a very interesting perspective to us that we don't hear from many people other than cultivate dollar cost crypto, and maybe some of the other people that rub shoulders with people that really move huge amounts of money. So he brings a perspective that I thought was very new and fresh to the community, because I mean, let's face it, most people that get into crypto are just a little insane and degenerate gamblers because they've seen here's the risk and here's the upside. Why isn't everyone doing this? like that's what crypto bros think. They're like, and the first time that a pizza boy, delivering pizza makes money on GameStop, or the first time that he buys some crazy meme coin and he makes $1 million, even if he doesn't realize it, even if it's on paper, he makes $1 million and goes back down. It destroys that pizza delivery's mind forever. When about his beliefs about money and what it takes to earn money and what money is are shattered. And so we have this merging of just insane people that are a little bit out of the box and these people that understand money and finance at a deeper level than most of us get a chance to. And that's where I think this beautiful intersection is of Actuator finance.
Yeah. And, we wanted it to have something for everybody. We didn't want it to be that only the large institutional investors going to get utility here. No, that's not the case. Every hexagon will find something useful in this. And we can go through some of those things, but they can focus on just the simplicity that fits their lane, or they can grow into more sophisticated things, or they can go all out studying and watching for all the opportunities. So you can find your level.
And I apologize, all the jingles going off on my alerts here. I'm trying to mute what I can when I can. So with that introduction, and crypto is hard. Every time that you find another project that you're interested in, you have to ask yourself, do I have the headspace? Do I have the time every week to manage this, to check on it, to see if I need to adjust it? Stuff like ink printer, stuff like the DAT farms, like in LP providing, all sorts of stuff. You only have so many hours in a day, right? And most of us spend about 12 hours a day trying to catch up on all the streams. And I'm not helping with my long streams here, but I'm just telling you guys, there's never enough time and it's hard to keep up with everything. And so with Actuator Finance, I thought this is an amazing idea when I heard about it. I didn't act on it for like a year because I've been busy with my project, but even outside of my project, I'm trying to like manage a few other things and not get overwhelmed. So it wasn't until recently that I saw this big pile of hex that I had just gotten out from a stake, a native stake. And I knew I didn't want to do a native stake anymore because there's just a lot of risks and not a lot of advantages to native staking. But I knew I needed to put it to work somewhere, whether it was in a pool or an actuator. So again, that's when I serendipitously I show up to the golf thing with these guys, and I get to hang out and talk with them in Vegas yet again after, because Panama I didn't even take action after Panama. I thought to myself, I really got to get to this. But it's like, it's like fixing your gutter on your house. You're just like, I gotta get it fixed, but like it's your priorities are always shifting. So when I ran out of in Vegas, I was like,
you'll learn.
Yeah, well, and when I was in Vegas and Robbie says, well, that these farms are paying about 60% APY, I was like, okay, well, I've had this money sitting here doing nothing, just, giving me ulcers as the price goes down. But basically, I'm like, let's put this money to work. And so I really jumped into this. And without further ado, let me freeze my cute little face again. And we will share this screen with you guys. And we will jump into step by step an actual all the way through getting paid Actuator tokens. And I can show you guys even how to list the Actuator tokens on Bistro so that you guys can get your money and you guys can keep holding up the price. So again, here we go. We're going to go to here. Oh, I probably need to, let me bring these down like so. There we go. And like I said, let me know if I need to remove these. And shout out to a wild SJ appears. What's up, SJ? Good to see you. So here we go. We're on the Actuator site in the dashboard. And now let me repeat the question I asked 20 minutes ago, which is, what are we looking at here at the dashboard?
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Starting point for what you're looking at. And it's this concept called HTT, or Hex Time Token. So I'm going to assume we have some folks that are brand new here. So I want to just explain what a Hex Time Token is. And then in that center right area, you see the three current HTTs, HTT 3000, 5000, and 7000. They have the red icon and they have the number in there representing the hex day, not days from today, the hex day on which the HTTs will be redeemed 1-for-1, protocol guaranteed, with a hex. So it's an HTT is a claim check on a hex on the redemption day. So it's something that you buy at a discount to hex today, and then you hold it until the redemption day, and then you get a whole hex back, or any multiple, right? You could buy 1,000 HTTs today at a fraction of what you'd pay for a hex, hold it for the required amount of time, and then you get 1,000 hex. So it's a claim check on a hex. That's what an HTT is. And there's three different redemption days, 3,000, 5,000, and 7,000, which Max is showing. So let's focus on 3,000 for a second, because these three lines are critical. Before
you jump in there, I just wanted to point out something that confused me, because I was like, you can't make a 7,000 day hex stake. They only go to 5,555. Well, these are the total days in hex, right?
It's the hex day.
So, yeah, and if you look up at the top of the screen, we're on day 1940. That was a good year. Anyways, 1940. So that's why you can go to 7,000, is because it's still basically pretty close to the 5,555. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out because that was something that I didn't understand when I first came here.
Super. Another way to really be precise about it is if you go to the opposite end of that line, it shows you the exact day, the date, and the amount of years that represents. So HTT 3000, that one has a redemption day of February 18th, 2028, which is 2.9 years from now. So we give it to you in both forms because that date is hex day 3000.
Yeah, see, I didn't even read the whole line. I just had to ask you guys about it.
So that's why
it's on both places. So thank you for pointing that out.
Right. You can see exactly what the duration to that maturity is and what day it actually occurs on. So now you know when, if you have an HTT 7000 on that day, January 31st of 39, you're going to get a hex from it. You redeem it for a hex. That's how this works. And then the graph below, actually, before we go to the graph, notice there's three sets of percentages in that line we were looking at. Sorry there, Max. Let's go back to the lines.
Oh, these ones right here.
Yeah. Notice three sets of percentages.
Yep.
The first one is the discount to hex. So it's showing you right now in the marketplace, an HTT 3000 comes at a 31.3% discount to a hex. So and what that equates to is, if you look at the last column over there that says total return, all the way on the far right, that one, if you get a 31% discount and then you hold it to the redemption day, that represents a 45.4% total return over that horizon period. And that's over the whole horizon period, in this case, 2.9 years. And then the middle column, that translates to a 15.6 annualized return. And we use the APR there, and we use the same formula for this that the hex.com uses for staking, so that it's an apples to apples comparison.
Now, does the 31% discount, does that translate to getting more TShares?
Not more TShares.
Okay.
This is discounted hex. The TShares are what you can choose to do as another strategy, where you create an HSI, delegate it, and then extract your HTTs from it for other strategies. But I don't want to confuse everyone just yet. All this is discounted hex. And so you buy it and you can hold it. And as time goes on, all these HTTs over time will work from a discount back up towards 1, because they are 1 hex on their redemption day. So now might be a good time to go over to the right edge of the chart at the bottom there, the yellow, the blue, and the green below.
Oh, these ones right here.
Yeah, this is the price history of those HTTs measured in terms of hex. So notice the orange line up there at 1 is 1 hex, because 1 hex is always 1 hex. Now, what is the price of HTT 3000 today measured in hex? Well, if you hover for a minute over the very right-hand dot on the yellow curve, if you can get over there to the yellow curve,
This one?
the right-hand side, the full opposite side. Now, you should see what that number is. It's I can't even read it. Can you read it?
Yes, it says 0.687.
There you go.
The number, so about 0.69%.
So you're paying today, right now, if you were to go buy on Pateus or PulseX or whatever you're doing, pulseswap.io, you would get that price. You would have to pay 0.687 of a hex to buy one HTT 3000. And then if you held that all the way until the 2.9 year point was over, you could redeem it for a full hex. So you're getting the pickup from 0.68 to 1. That's
and that's where you're getting the discount. Right?
That's where you're getting the discount. That actually is your discount. If you look at the number that's showing you that you're paying, it's the
so here's
discount.
Here's the 31.5 or 30.3, and then here's the 50, the 41%, and then here's the.
So that's your price, which is the complement of the discount up there, and you can see what that turns into as you just hold it. Now, there's some interesting strategies that just flow out of understanding this much. One, you can just buy and hold HTTs, and you're getting discounted hex in your portfolio, and it's growing over time to give you the full amount of hex that your HTTs will provide you at redemption day. So you can just buy and hold a set of HTTs, buy some 3,000, some 5,000s, and some 7,000s, and you've got guaranteed fixed rate return in hex terms, which is good. There's no variability. So for example, when the OA did the big staking event, a month ago or whatever, the returns of all of your stakes went down, and so did the pooled stakes and all the rest of that stuff, because that's dependent on the action of others. But the HTT yields you were getting were completely unaffected. If you bought an HTT the day before that occurred, you didn't care, because if you locked in a 20% yield, your yield didn't go down because it was based on the discount you bought it at, and you're just going to hold it and obtain your full return without regard to what anybody else is doing. So it's a different product in the sense of how your yield is earned. And that's nice, because having different products is really good to give you some options, right? So the simplest strategy for someone brand new to this is to try to wrap your head around this idea of discounted HEX and a claim check on an actual HEX on the redemption day. And then maybe just build a little portfolio of all three of those HTTs, or whichever one you happen to like. As you look at that right now, you're getting somewhere between, well, 15, 16, and 12% respectively annually by the discount you're getting. That's what it's translating to. If you just bought those tokens and held them, that's how much your bag is growing in HEX terms and when it would roll off. So that could just be a passive strategy where you just buy some and hold it. But unlike other types of staking, this is always liquid. If you needed to sell something, you can come back and sell HTTs to the marketplace. Now, you bear some market risk because discounts could rise or they could fall. And that too becomes something that if you're a trader, you can speculate on that. So buy when the discount or when the APR is high, and that's a good strategy. And then if you wanted and the APR got real low, that means you accelerated the amount of HEX you've earned. You could choose to sell the HTT back into a bunch more HEX. So that could become an active strategy when you want, right?
Right. Yeah. And so there's basically, well, there's three ways to get HTT, but we'll cover two. One is to mint your HEX for the HTT in a delegated stake. And the other one is to go to a marketplace. Well, actually, I wonder if it'll pull up on Pateus if I just type in HTT.
Well, it does
actually, yep, they're right here. So here's a 3,000, a 5,000, and a 7,000 that I could buy right off Pateus.
You can.
I wanted to just buy some of these liquid T-shares.
Let me highlight a safety tip, because this is kind of important in a world full of scam coins.
Yes.
Everything looks like it's something else. We provide you, if you go back to the Actuator protocol.
Yep. Right here.
If you go to this tab that says more on the top right, see the top where you've got dashboard. No, it's over on the left side of this, where now further right where it says more, the other end of that.
Oh, right here.
And hit tokens.
Okay.
These are all the tokens that are associated with the Actuator protocol. Notice you'll see the 3 HTTs, you'll see Actuator. We even put Maxi and Deci because they're part of the liquidity pools for one of them. But if you wanted to know, do I have the right contract address for the HTT 3000? If you're going to go buy something the first time, you really want to know it's the right address.
Yes.
You can go down to the HTT 3000 line and go under actions over there. And you hit copy token address. And then you paste that in Pateus. And the first time you've done that, you'll be confident that you've got the correct HTT 3000 and it's not somebody else's thing, right? So those addresses are also in our documentation. So there's two different ways, and it's very important that people learn and practice knowing that you've got the right contract addresses for tokens that you're buying for the first time. Because, you know, that's there for you.
That's cool. That's a cool feature. I didn't know that was there. I mean, a lot of people have to paste their address on the top of the page, like we have recently on Anti-Gravity.
You can.
But you've got a lot of contracts here that would probably take up a good chunk of the top.
And we list them in the documentation. So if you go to the docs, we have a whole page on contract addresses. So you've always got an accurate and reliable reference.
Okay.
So now go ahead and buy your HTT 3000s if you wanted.
Yeah. Well, I was actually going to mint some.
Oh, even more.
So we're gonna go through the whole thing. You and I are gonna discuss it, and then I'm gonna do it all at once.
Oh, I love it.
And so that we can clip that 4 or 5 minute video, and people can literally see going from HEX to farming actuator.
All right, let's get on.
So the next one that we go to is stakes, and this is where you can do the delegated stakes with this button right here.
Yes, correct.
So if I were to hit delegated stakes, I could choose how much hex I want and select a day. And if you wanted to, you could do a custom end day if you wanted to put in a specific day. You know, maybe you want to front run the 7,000s or the 3,000s, right?
Well,
Maybe you have a special birthday.
Some caution is that you could do that, but you'd be the only one in it and there'd be no liquidity. So
Right.
that's what you do as an advanced feature if you're planning to provide liquidity in a different spot of the curve. But
Yeah.
for the beginning, don't do that because you're probably going to hurt yourself. Use one of the standard ones because they have liquidity.
And I like the fact that you have the dates here as well, so people don't have to go back to the other screen and be like, wait a minute, 3,000 ends on, okay, 3,000 ends here, 5,000 ends on this date, 7,000 ends on January 31st, 39.
Correct.
Right? So you choose one of these, which we will in just a second, but I'm just going to walk through it first. And then you'd hit submit, you'd pay the fee. And at that point, you would have a stake showing up here under the actuator delegated stakes, correct?
That's right. Because you're creating a new delegated stake. So it's wrapping all those functions for you at once. So you're not having to do lots of steps.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then right here, available to extract. This is where you can extract the HTT, the tokens, and you can do, you can sell them, you can LP them, you can do all sorts of stuff with the HTTs. Right.
Yes.
And for instance, when I start this, I'll probably do a certain like even number of hex, and I can extract that many HTTs. But then as the principal accrues interest, I'll be able to extract more HTTs as the stake matures, correct?
That's right. The platform will allow you to extract anything you've actually earned, which is principal plus accrued rewards to date. So you could start today, and as you're probably going to do, it will let you immediately take out the full amount of your HTTs because you've earned that since you provided it. And then a week from now, you'd find there was some incremental amount more that you earned.
Right. So and yeah, it'll show you the amount that you've extracted over here, which we'll see in just one moment. But that's you just go to stakes, delegated stakes to make a new actuator delegated stake right there, right?
Yes.
And then we'll take a look at the pools next. These are the liquidity pools that are set up and how much total value is locked in those pools, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So as you can see, we got the 3,000 and the hex pair, 5,000 hex pair, 7,000 hex pair. We have the actuator and wrapped pulse pair, the actuator and hex pair, and the actuator and PDI pair right now, which I'm imagining is probably
a lot of drama there, but that one really you can only focus on the first three and you'd be fine.
Yeah. The first three are the ones with the most liquidity in them right now. And then, of course, you've got a couple of PHUX pools right here, the actuator hex pulse and the hex complex, which has the max, the deci. And so if you join these pools, it'll split up your money into this ratio right here, 15%, 15%, 25, 15, 15, 15, 15, or 25, 50, 25, right?
Right.
You can put money in those pools. And wow, the hex complex has $76,000 in it.
Right.
So that one's got some decent liquidity right there. Okay, so and this is also where you can just click actions. You can add liquidity, remove liquidity, copy pool address to make sure you got the right pool, or you can copy the HTT 3000 address again right here.
Right. Notice there's a button right above there in blue that says swap.
Mm-hmm.
That's allowing you to just use do a direct trade with PulseX. If you're trying to, like you're saying, all right, I want to go into the first one, but I have hex but not HTTs, or I got my HTTs, but it's not enough to balance what I have to put in. Maybe I have to buy a little bit more. So you can do your swaps from here if you're trying to balance out your liquidity providing, especially if you're going into the time complex at the bottom, because you need 6 tokens.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So this is just an option. Obviously, you can go use Pateus as well, but this gives you something handy right where you're at.
Awesome. Okay, so this is liquidity pairs on that are with the HTTs, and then if you go to earn, and we'll just go to the Actuator farms. We'll probably touch on the vaults at the very end, just because there's something even further. You can add another way you can get HTTs, but for now, if we just go to earn, it looks like the 3,000 hex pair is paying out about 84%
Right.
APR. The 5,000 is 78%, and the 7,000 is 73%.
Right.
And full disclosure, I didn't want to share this with anybody after I got in these farms, because I'm enjoying my share of this farm and my return. And so I'm like, do I really want to tell all these OG Hexicans how to compete with me? And honestly, my inner Jiminy Cricket was like, you owe it to your audience and your community that when you find something good, you should share it with them. So
Sure.
that's really what brings us to this page right here, which is the farming page. And again, you would deposit your LP right here, or withdraw your LP if you want to. But if you deposit your LP, it'll tell you what share of the pool you have, and it'll show you the Actuator tokens clicking up in real time, almost like an odometer right here. Did I cover this one pretty well, or should I add anything else?
Oh, I think you did great as the overview, and they'll see it again as you step through it.
Yeah, and we can even go over claim here in a little bit, because I really do want to show people how to take profit here without hurting the chart.
Right.
All right, so there's that one. And then of course, portfolio, this will show us, we'll look at this after we go through everything. So let's start at the very beginning. Let's pretend that I just showed up here. Okay, so this would be like the beginning of a good clip. I've got my Rabby wallet here connected. I went on to Pateus, or I can also click on one of these others and use PulseX. But I went on here, I took some DAI, and I bought some hex earlier. So you can buy it right here. And as you can see, right now we're sitting with 23,000 and some change hex for about 151 bucks. And what we want to do is we want to create a stake. We want to pair liquidity. We want to deposit liquidity, and we want to farm Actuator. So let's go through that. So now we know we've got some hex in here. We're going to go over here to Actuator, and we're going to start at the stakes. We're going to click on new delegated stakes. Now remember, if I use all of my hex, I won't have any hex to pair it with. So let's take this 23 and let's pare it down to 18,000 hex. So this should leave me about 5,000 hex to pair with the HTT, which should be about right, I think, just off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know the numbers in there right now.
I'll tell you what, let's just do 15 to be sure.
Sure.
That'll be good. So we're going to create a day 7,000 delegated stake with 15,000 hex right here. So I just click submit. I'm going to sign it right here. Confirm. Forgot to see what the fee was there, but fees have been pretty high lately. So it's going to approve. So I have to approve it and then create the stake. So I have to give Actuator permission to use the hex.
Notice the ribbon at the bottom is giving you a status. See how it's saying pending, and then it'll go green when it finishes at the bottom of the page.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, so here it's dark blue. And I did hear a jingle, so this should be turning green pretty soon. This video might be 10 minutes instead of 5, depending on how much gas I'm paying. So it's still thinking. In fact, let's see. So it's through on this one.
Well, hit your transaction and let's just see if that's the case.
Okay. Yeah, so here we've approved 15,000 hex for Actuator and some change.
Okay.
So that one is through, and the website is just taking a second to catch up to the blockchain. Sometimes I bet you I just hit refresh on this one.
Probably can. Sometimes it's that.
You have to hit refresh a lot on our website. So
Yeah.
here we go. Now I've already approved it.
Right.
So it should be pulling up another function here, or another transaction to sign. So or actually, let's just do this again.
Yeah.
We'll do the same thing. We'll hit max. We'll change 23 to 15. And this time it probably won't ask me to approve it.
Probably so.
The same amount. If I hit submit, then, I've got to pick day 7,000, hit submit. So now it went straight to create stake.
Right.
So it recognizes that it already did that. It's going to be 15 cents on the Pulse network right now. So we'll sign that one. And then we'll see if this one turns green for us on the bottom.
Yeah, hopefully. It's just a matter of how much it's communicating.
Mm-hmm. We got the jingle, the happy little jingle that it went through. Let's check here on our Rabby transactions. Yep, it's
right. You can hit refresh.
do that one.
Yeah, I've never seen this, but it's probably some internet thing.
That's okay. Yeah, or it could be something as easy as my router or VPN that's like slowing stuff down. So here we can see my principal stake of 15,000 hex. It is for day 7,000, and I have 15,142 HTT that I am able to extract, but I haven't extracted any yet, and I haven't accrued any hex rewards yet. But yeah, so this right here, this one can climb up as the principal. I'm sorry, as the interest grows. Correct?
Yes. In fact, you're going to track your accrued rewards on the column to the left. See how it says 0 right now to the left? Nope. Back to the right.
Over here. Extracted 0.
No, that's what you've extracted, but go to the other side, almost in the middle where it says.
Oh, the accrued rewards.
So every day you'll watch what you're accruing.
Awesome.
That's similar to what you would see on go.hex.com for your HSI. Because remember, this is just a stake like any other, except it's an HSI, an encapsulated stake.
Mm-hmm. You're right. All right. So here we've got some. So the next step is to extract the HTT. So we're going to extract our HTT tokens, and we're going to extract these ones, the 7,000s. If we have more than one stake, I'm sure it'll ask you. But yeah, you just have this one stake and extract them out. We're going to hit max. So we're going to extract every one of these HTTs out of here. So we'll hit submit. And it says 1% mint fee can be applied to your extracted HTT 7,000. The fee goes to ACTR Actuator holders who have vaulted the HTT 7,000 contract. So that's the piece that we can get into later. But I'm okay with paying a 1% mint fee. So I'll submit anyway. And then that one will cost me 6 cents to extract. So I'm going to extract some. And then those will pop up over here. And the available to extract will go to 0.
Exactly.
There we go.
For whatever reason, we're not getting your green bar at the bottom, but no doubt if you refresh, it'll show up there.
Yeah.
Something must be interrupting that for you.
It might be something to do with reading pulse chain. I know that reading pulse chain could be very tricky as a founder. But here, so this is where the hex will accrue. And then as I accrue more HTTs, they'll show up here. And here's the extracted 15,000 HTT 7,000s right here.
That's right. And you can see that on the tokens page. If you wanted to jump over to the more and see tokens, now you should be able to see them listed for you.
Okay, great. Yeah, so here's the ones right here.
You did the bottom one.
Oh yeah, this one right here. Sorry, so and it's got a position value of $35 in if I were to just want to sell right now, which not a great move since I just invested probably about $195 worth of hex to get this, but you can see them right there. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go back here to the stakes where we can see the stakes that have been extracted right here. And then we're going to go to the pools next. And since we have 7,000s and some hex, we're going to go to the end here and hit actions, add liquidity. And I'm going to maximize all of these. And it's going to take about 5,000 hex to do a V2 liquidity pair of equal amounts of 35.77 right here. So I'm going to add this liquidity right there, hit submit. And again, you've got to do the approvals for both the HTT and for the hex, and then it'll let you add the liquidity. So we'll wait for this one to approve and listen for the little jingle. There we go, a little jingle. And when I was doing this on a laptop earlier, it did pull up the other ones in succession. So this one might just be something to do with this machine or this VPN or whatever's going on too.
Yeah, you could just refresh each time because it looks like something's blocking it for you.
So let me just refresh it right there. And now we'll go back to the actions on 7,000s. We're just going to go back to add liquidity, do the same thing, submit, and now it wants us to approve the hex. So that's the next step. We'll sign and confirm that one and listen for the jingle. And then we might have to refresh to add liquidity. It might pop up on its own. Sometimes if you're just patient, things tend to work, but I'm not very, we're in crypto because most of us aren't patient enough to wait for the future. So, all right. So that one looks like it's gone through. Let's just refresh one more time and I'll just do it again. You guys will most likely not have to do the refreshing on here, but if you do, just know that it's still working. And we'll go here with the 7,000s. We'll hit submit, and now as you can see, it's gone to the add liquidity. So we will sign it and we'll confirm it. That's 5 cents this time. And now we are providing liquidity between the HTT 7000s and hex to the tune of about $70. So I'll close that one right there and close that one right there. And I'll refresh this and it should show up right here for a second. Yeah, so here's the $72 of liquidity that I'm providing, and that is 0.084% share of all the liquidity right now.
And notice that gets its own pay from PulseX, right? Because you're a liquidity provider, you're going to get the share of the PulseX liquidity fees. That's a separate deal from what you're about to do on the farm.
So up to this point, I'm earning hex. I'm earning HTTs. I'm also earning fees from the LP pair, just up to the point that we've gone to now.
Correct.
And now we want to go to earn, because we want to earn some actuators. So we're going to click on earn ACTR farms. And we have some LP here in the 7,000s. So we're going to go to actions and we're going to deposit that right there. We want to deposit all of it, which it comes to a very small fractioned number. I think this doesn't actually equate to dollars or tokens. This is an LP, a PLP token, which
those are weird. I don't know how
at first you might look at it and go like, I don't have anything, but it's always a small number. Right. So we're going to hit submit. We got to approve the transfer again. So we did that. And then after the jingle, we should deposit it to the farm. So there's our little jingle. Let me just go to here, and deposit again, and then we can deposit it all, hit submit. And now it's letting me deposit it to the farm for a fee of 4 cents. A little jingle. So it looks like it's done. We'll click out of there. And so it doesn't show up yet. We're just going to refresh the screen and it'll show up here on the 7,000 line. So here is my $72 deposit of LP. And here's my share of the pool. And here is my actuator already paying out right there.
Pays out continuously.
So I'm farming actuator here. Now, the thing I noticed was when you go back to the pools page, it's not showing up here anymore because it's deposited.
Correct.
So it's not showing up here even though you still have it. And then on the stakes page, like I said, you can come back here and watch for the hex and the HTT to go up. And if I could, let's say that I get another few hundred or thousand HTT over time, I can take those, I can extract them, and I can pair them with more hex, and I can, pair them with more hex, and then I can put them, add that to my farm position as well under earn and ACTR farms. So look, as you see that, I already got 0.33 ACTR in a matter of seconds. So that's some pretty good 73%, some pretty good APR on something that previous to now was just sitting in hex, And this is all able to be undone. If I wanted to, I could withdraw this from the farm. I could unpair the liquidity, and I would still have my liquid hex and my liquid HTT. There's nothing locking me into this whole system right now, other than the fact that I would lose money and fees if I were to do that right now, right? This is something we want to let grow. But as you can see, here's the 0.33 actuator tokens. And we're just going to chill. And when these get bigger, we can hit claim. And that's going to put these actuator tokens right inside my wallet. Right, Bill?
Correct. It'll be in there. And again, you can always go look at more tokens page and see, because over time, you kind of lose track of what you have. And it's nice to have that page that lists everything.
Yeah. In fact, here's something we can do is, if this is something cool, debank, if you guys like debank, I'm a big fan of debank. I'm going to go over here to this address for the wallet that we use for streaming and demo. I'm going to put that right in here. I'm going to paste it in here. And then here's the wallet right here. If we go down here, it's already showing my actuator farm worth $72, and it's already showing my actuator rewards and putting them into dollars for me.
Nice.
Yeah, so shout out to DBank. Very good stuff. Yeah, I've got some ink dollars in here. I didn't know I had ink dollars in here. Anyways, we got a mix of just about everything in here. Now let's go into this. I don't really have enough actuator yet in this account to make it worth selling, because eventually I want to come in and I want to say, okay, this is a passive income, and I'm going to want to claim this actuator token. We've almost got one whole actuator token. Not bad at all. And as I was telling Bill before this, if we look at these incentive tokens, I'll start with, Homie Don't Play Dat. Homie Don't Play Dat token is doing pretty good. It looks like it's bouncing. It's kind of ranging. We don't really know how much DAT we want to hang on to as farmers of DAT. And so we might want to accumulate it and put it to work. I've just been compounding my DAT token back into the farms on Hocus Pocus. But if you look at the print token, if you provided liquidity to the print token, it doesn't look like it's really a time to accumulate yet. It's kind of gone down. It's kind of going sideways, but not really. Like most people are selling the print token as soon as it hits their wallet, or as soon as it's worth it in fees to cash it out. So there's the print token. The actuator token has a much much different story here. This one has hit a pretty good bottom right here, and we know that the emissions of these are going to be going down every year, and eventually they're going to stop. So you have 3 years to farm as many actuator tokens as possible. Is that correct?
Well, that's right. Yeah, you can farm for 3 years, the most now, and then a little less in year 2 and 3. And at the same time, intersecting that is the fact that we would hope the use of the protocol is growing. And remember, the ACTR token holders are getting the revenue from the minting process. So you earn HTTs from which is hex, from your ACTR. So that should provide some support as the years go on, because you're earning hex with it.
Yeah, this is the bonus level that we were talking about earlier. If you go to earn and then vaults, I can take my ACTR, my actuator token, I can claim it. I can go over here to vaults, and I can actually lock my ACTR over here in one of these vaults. And the minimum lock is 90 days, I believe. Is that correct?
That's right, 90 days.
And then after 90 days, do I have to take it out, or can I just let it ride?
Oh, you can just let it ride.
Okay. Yeah. So I got 30 days where I'm committing to leaving my ACTR locked in here, and it is going to pay me out in the HTT tokens.
You can see that at the bottom there. That green chart is the HTT payouts going to those vault holders of ACTR.
Yeah, and I may or may not know who's responsible for these 2 stair steps right there.
Okay. Well,
I'm just saying.
That's all right.
You're welcome. Like in Moana, you're welcome. But yeah, so you could actually compound your ACTR into more HTTs. You could take these HTTs, you could claim them, go back to your extraction right here, and you could actually retire your HTT.
That's right.
You could basically pay back your HTT loan.
Right. You could do that.
So it's got an actual closed loop system for those interested in just letting this ride and letting it compound. But that's the next level that I haven't gotten to yet, because like I said, I'm more interested right now at seeing how much I can get from the actuator tokens without hurting the chart, without dumping on the price, right?
Right.
So as I was saying earlier, I'm going to be accumulating these actuator tokens, and I can go over here to Bistro, 0xbistro.io, and now look at this. I can create an order right here. I can say, I want to give it like 30 days. We'll just say we want to give this 30 days. Oh, it doesn't have days. Sorry. We're going to go with, oh, geez, Louise. Let's go with like 150 hours then. So we'll do that. Now we need the token address right here. So again, we can just come back here to ACTR. Is it in this one? No, it's going to be under more and tokens. So we go to more and tokens, and we're going to go to the actuator right here. We're going to click copy token address, and then we'll paste that in OX Bistro the same way that you paste in addresses in Pateus. So there it is. Here's the actuator token right there. And then I can, my balance is 0 because I think I'm still earning my first whole token. I believe you have to do them in whole amounts here. But let's just say I had like 20,000 because I'm farming the heck out of it. That's $7 worth. And I just want to sell that. And I want to go back and I either want to buy HTTs or I want to buy Hex or anything really. Or I just want to buy something cheap at Wendy's or McDonald's, right? For $7. We'll go here and then I can choose how I want to receive it. So let's say I want to take a DAI token because it's worth $1. I don't have to worry about chasing the market, and I'll just put $7. So I'm going to sell $7 of actuator for $7 of DAI. And then as you can see, I don't have that much actuator, but if I did, it would say make. I would click make order, and then I would pay the fee in Rabby like we do. And then on this active orders list right here, where you can see dark token for sell, Prime to Fox, Magic Carpet 369, and Bean, and Internet Money, it would pop up right here. It would say ACTR. It would tell me that who my address, who made the order. It would put the amount right here, the $7. It would say I'll accept die, and then $7 over here, and then someone could just click buy and pick up some actuator if they wanted to, and that would not add sell pressure to the ACTR chart, right?
Right.
Because it's just a person-to-person exchange, just over the counter.
Right.
And so that's one way that you guys, if you want to support a project and accumulate in a project, no matter what is, whether it's dark or actuator, I would highly, highly recommend going to Bistro and putting that in here. So, and Triplet Dad and his team are looking at adding a couple more functions on here. For instance, he's wants to put the price per token in a column here so it's easier to read. And the other thing that you need to know about Bistro, OX Bistro, is that you don't have to buy the entire lot for sale. So as in my example, I was selling $7 of actuator token. You don't have to buy all $7. You can buy $1, you can buy 50 cents, whatever you want to buy, you can buy pieces of it. So like here, there's 926 dark for sale at they're worth 11,500, almost 11,600 bucks, and you can buy them for 11,100 bucks. So there's about a $400 or $500 arbitrage right here if someone wanted to just come and gobble the whole thing down. But if they didn't want to gobble the whole thing down, they could click buy, just like with Actuator, and they could put the amount that they want to buy. Let's say they just wanted to buy 2 of them at that price. Oops, 2 right here. There we go. So I could just buy those with my wallet right now, and it would charge me, $2 of well, I'm sorry, if I wanted to buy 2, it'd charge me $25 of diet. I could click buy and just buy a piece of it. So you don't have to buy the whole order that you see here on Bistro. That's something that's not intuitive that I like to share with people. So
that's great.
Yeah. So we have gone through how to go from a liquid hex into the actuator protocol, how to create a delegated stake, how to pull it with one of these pairs, and how to farm it for the actuator token. And look, we've got 3.5 actuator tokens sitting here already off of and this is the part I really don't want to show people at all, because this is the part where it kind of clicks in your head. People are looking at 3.5 actuator. Okay, I got 3.5 actuator. Actuators at 0003595, right? So let's do this. We got 3.5, and we're going to times it by 0.1233595. And we don't know what the price of actuator is going to be in the future, but just based on this one right here, we equal that, and we got about 1/100 of a penny. Now, remember, this is only going for like 15 minutes, right? And so let's just say that this averaged, what would that be daily? I'd say that we'll probably get maybe around 100 of these from here daily, give or take. It's just a guess. I can check back tomorrow when I stream. But let's just say that we'll times this by 33 to get close to an idea of what we got. So now we got 4.1 cents. So 4.1 cents, and then, that's going to be 365 days in a year. That equals $15.15. Again, not life-changing money, not very interesting.
But what is the principle that you have in there?
There, see, yeah, Bill's ahead of me. Bill's probably 3 steps ahead of me, but he's definitely 1 step ahead of me. Remember, guys, I invested today. I invested $70-something, $72 of value here, right? $15 on $72 a year is pretty damn good. That's really good. And granted, there's a lot of variables here. Like I said, you got the price of actuator may go up, it may go down, and so forth. And when people see this video, they might say, man, I've got a couple million hex sitting over here. It's doing nothing. I want to follow these instructions and I want to put it to use. And they would be competing with this guy right here and the other people for yield. So the yield would go down with more participation. However, the liquidity would go up. And also the community would grow as well.
And presumably the amount of HTTs you would earn in your vault.
Yeah. So if you were to take these and vault them, you would get even more and more HTTs if you wanted to vault your ACRs instead of selling them on Bistro, which is what I recommend. I don't recommend going to Pateas and dumping stuff very often. It's sometimes it's a great place to get good deals, but as you can see, if I was to, for instance, let's do the ACTR token here. Let's say that I accumulated just $1,000 of ACR, or I held it, or I bought it somewhere, right? And I'm like, I want to take profit, or I want to buy $1,000 of ACTR. I'd be eating about 14-15% slippage right here, right? But if someone were selling ACTR on Bistro and they're selling, I'd be getting 15% more if someone just put the market price on Bistro and I bought it for $1,000. So that's the beautiful thing here. Again, like, let me go back because the math's hard in my head. But if you flip these, and you had $300 of actuator token that you wanted to sell, just $300, you'd be eating 5% slippage right there. So it'd be better to sell these ACTR over the counter on Bistro and get 5% more. Or let's say that you think actuator is going to go up because the supply is being ground down. Well, then you could say that you could actually put them for more money here if you wanted to, and say when the price of actuator goes up and meets it, like, so for instance, dark right here, dark was not worth $11.59 2 days ago. This would have been worth, like, I don't know, 10,500. So I would be paying more over here. But because the price of dark went up recently, now I'm actually getting a good deal on this arbitrage. So yeah, you could list your ACTR for a much higher price if you wanted to, and wait to see if ACTR goes up, and basically you're setting a sell order or a buy order on Bistro. So there's a lot of cool ways to play this and protect the chart. As you can see, the dark chart here, the dark and most, there was an instance here. This is the long one with dark and pulse. You can see what like sell pressure can do to a chart with low liquidity, right? And so if this person had taken profit on Bistro, you'd have a much different chart, right? So if a whale or someone big wants to get out of a position, tell them to head over to Bistro and see how much the community is willing to buy at a decent price without slippage, right? Anyway, yeah. Just a thought. Let me go back and check our comments here because I've been down for a bit. Let me stop my screen and unfreeze my face.
Yeah, that was a great walkthrough there, Max.
Yeah. We just need somebody who's willing to sit down and edit, take those chunks out, and you could do a 5-minute video, boom, 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 forward and backwards. And you could do the same with Bistro as well, but that's pretty cool. Oh, nice. I have some hex. I need to do something with it. Good timing. That's exactly what I was thinking, SJ, with the same thing. Maybe make the HTT icon the same color on the chart for each one. This is a great, thanks for doing all this. So at the moment, if HTT 3000 is at a discount, is it the best to swap some hex to HTT, then put it in the pool farm? Sorry, all of my transactions are hitting my computer now, and it's telling me they all went through. Thank you.
Okay, they were holding up for you. So
sorry.
he makes a good point here, which is in your case, your example, you obtained your HTT by doing an HSI and minting. But he's pointing out there's another option, which is true. You could take your hex and just outright buy some HTT 3000s and pair it and go. So that's another way to benefit from your liquid hex. Let's say the liquid hex person decided, I have too many stakes already. They're not locked out of this farming strategy. They could just outright buy the HTTs and go and add liquidity. So you've got multiple paths to achieve the same ends. So that's a good point.
Yeah, a lot of arbing opportunities, just like people were arbitraging between the perpetuals of Maximus DAO. Sometimes the Deci would be at a discount, and other times the trio would be. So you got the 3, 5, 7 years, and they're all fluctuating and moving based on liquidity and who's buying what. So you can actually buy discounted TShares like you can here, right, based on that discount. If there's enough liquidity for the swap, I suppose.
For any trade you ever do.
Celebrity in the house, Prairie Banana, hit the like and sub. Prairie, I need a new sticker if you're still here. This alien sticker is turning into an alien ghost. I guess I should have put it on the inside of the case now that I'm thinking about it. But shout out to PTGC and the alien tech community over there. Thank you for the shout out, and hit the like and sub if you're new. Welcome. And then Hex T says, welcome, Prairie Banana. We are officially bananas now. That's my favorite word. I've been trying to cut down on swearing on stream, so I'd say bananas instead of other expletives. So that's kind of a thing here. Snow Spider is really enjoying it. And then, of course, she puts the Actuator Finance link right there in stream for you guys as well. So, yeah, that was really cool. Now, like I said, so the first part of this was talking about what to do with your hex, how to turn it into liquid T-shares, and how to have it earn a passive income for you, which is great. Like, everyone in crypto is dying for some passive income instead of this feast and famine thing we go through every 4, 5, 6 question mark years. And then I wanted to also share people another thing that we heard in Vegas by almost everyone, all the builders, where we think that dark matter and anti-gravity is fascinating. We don't understand any of it. Like, everyone told me the same thing. It seems cool. We don't get it. And same thing with Bill here. Bill and RJ, they're just like, I don't get it. And so I thought, okay, I need to give them the one move, the simplified move of, if you don't know anything about Actuator and Hex, the move is to create a delegated stake. And that way you're at least in the game and you're at least earning income. You're earning interest, right? And HTT. So that's great. And you're getting a discount when you're going into the market. So that's like the killer move. And I just laid out the 4-part killer move if you want to turn it into actual residual income right there. But the killer move, I guess, let's go to our little website here. My favorite website in the entire world, which is agproject.io. And it's my favorite website because I paid a lot of money for it. It's also good looking, like, not to say it's not a great looking site, but here's the anti-gravity, and let's actually start at the homepage. If you go to anti-gravity, there's a lot of stuff going on here. We have the contract address up top that we've added recently to make sure people know that they've got the right address, like Bill was saying. And then you basically have the wish well, the minting, and the collective, which are 3 big options down below. And then they're also listed above as well. But we're just going to go to minting because that's the main thing that you want to do if you have dark tokens or if you buy dark tokens. You want to take your dark tokens here, and every 33 days, this clock right here counts down to a minting window. So when this counts down, you will have 11 days to join the next game. or as we call them, journeys. So you'll have 11 days to mint one for one dark matter token into one fuel cell NFT. And your fuel cell NFT is basically your game piece to this game. And so, like I said, you have 11 days to mint here. And then this will close and this clock will start back over at 33 more days. So there's only it's a limited time amount to join each round of the game or each journey of the game. So that's about as simple as I can make this right here. That was, I could probably make it a little simpler if if Bill has any questions up to this point. Just
yes. Is the fuel cell NFT that I create from the dark when the window's open, is that unique to the particular journey that is upcoming?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, great question. So we're on journey 3 right now, or round 3 of the game, and so the last window that was open was minting just journey 3 NFTs.
Okay.
And when this closes, we'll be minting journey 4 NFTs when this opens up again. Cool. Now, your NFT has a couple of mechanisms to it. First of all, it has beautiful community created art. Like you can see behind me, you've got the Rings of Dust book with the astronaut and the symbols at the bottom. And that's the piece of art that we attached to Journey 1's NFTs. And then if you look up here in my wallet, actually, I would want to go to Pulse Market app because it'll actually show them a little bit better. If you go to my wallet, you can see the different game pieces. So you have the 3 of these NFTs that were in Journey 1. You have one Journey 2 NFT, which has this art created by Red Squirrel. And then Journey 3s have this spaceship with the logos on the bottom. And this piece of art was actually a 2-minute video that we didn't really want to put on the blockchain or on our server. So we actually did a still of the beginning of it, but I believe we played this at the beginning of the video. We'll play it again, but this is the J3s. So as you can see, and we started putting the J2 and the J3 mark up in the top of these as well. So the first one doesn't have any mark. It's just original. And then J2's marked up in the corner and J3s are. So you can visually see the difference between them on Pulse Market app. Do you have any questions at this point?
Is it good, bad, indifferent to have one or more of these fuel cells?
Yep, that's a great question. I would recommend trying to get fuel cells in each one of the journeys because the older pays better. So this first round of NFTs, they split 3% of the treasury every 45 days. So every 45 days, the treasury pays 3% of its total amount to all of the remaining J1 fuel cells or Journey 1 fuel cells. The second one, and then the yield goes down by 10% every journey. So it starts at 3, and then it goes to 2.7. And then it goes to 2.43 and so on. Does that make sense?
It does. And then you're saying that if somebody wasn't participating before, those are things that are purchasable on the open market somehow.
Yes. If you come here to Pulse Market app, right now, we have some of the J3s are being listed. Let me search fuel. And then we'll go down here to this one right here. This is our collection right here. And it'll show there's like 300,000 of these right now, to all combined with the 3 games. But if I just go to priced here in the corner, there were several more of these this morning, but people have been buying these. So here are 6 of the J3 NFTs for sale for about $19 each. And I do know for a fact that if you buy these fuel cells here, right here, this one is being sold by BO86 right here. And I'm not familiar with that one right there. Or actually to mint. Yeah. So this one's owned by BO86 currently. And I don't control or know whose address that one is. But if we go back to some of these other ones, if you find one right here that, oh, now it says not for sale. Let me refresh this. Here we go. All right, yeah. Oh, these are actually saying not for sale now. No, here they are. Here, so this one's listed at 19.11 EDI. Let me look at this one over here on the end. Now this one says BOA6. So I think we're sold out of the ones that were held by D252. But if you look at these right here, and they're owned by, see, this one's FOD7. I don't think that one's for sale, but basically, if you go to our Telegram, you can see that you'll look for, there's a specific daughter address of the mystery box that's selling, and we know for sure that those ones have not won the lottery or been scraped, or some of them have won the lottery but haven't been scraped. So these other ones, they may or may not be live lottery tickets, and I can get into that in just a second. But yeah, this is a place where you can buy them, and this is where you would see the J1s or the J2s. Sorry, I got lost in the weeds there trying to show people something specific about these.
So at a high level, the fuel cell for any given journey receives a number of benefits. One of them is that there's artwork of some sort like these that are attached. Another is that there's some sort of treasury funding that occurs in different ways.
Yes, that's a really good way to put it. You have the art, you have the treasury, and you also have the lottery. So if you were to go back to this main page with the minting and you click on tools, it'll take you to the beta page, which is beta.agproject.io. And this is where you can see the lottery and you can see the treasury and a couple other things we can get into. But first of all, the lottery is kind of cool because if you minted for Journey 3, your NFT is a lottery ticket that is entered into 3 drawings, unless it wins, obviously. So there are 3 drawings, a bigger, and biggest drawing of dark matter. And your fuel cells have a chance, a 1 in 21 chance of winning one of these drawings right here. So we have 106,000 fuel cells that were minted for Journey 3. And so each one of those fuel cells has a 1 in 21 chance of winning one of these lotteries. We had the last lottery last Wednesday. And last Wednesday, each one of the winners walked away with 10.99 tokens. So each winner got 10.99 dark matter tokens. I'm going to pause for questions because I feel like there's probably some questions already on this one.
I can throw one out there while we're waiting and seeing if chat has any, but a 1 in 21 chance of winning when I see that there's 106,000 fuel cells active. I'm assuming that means multiple fuel cells can split as winners.
No, actually, one fuel cell is one winner, and so basically, when you mint the NFT, 20% of that money that was used to mint goes into the lottery, the jackpot. 77% of it goes into the treasury, and 3% of it goes to the team. So there's a 3% tax. Then, like I said, 20% of everything minted ends up here in the jackpot box, and 77% goes to the lottery. And so that's actually where we get the amount of dark that's going to be raffled off or drawn. And we divvy it up, and basically every fuel cell has a 0.048% chance of winning at least one drawing, right? I mean, well, I shouldn't say at least one, but one drawing, because if it wins a drawing, it is taken out of the running for the other 2. Okay. So this right here, if you were to take this times the 106,000 that were minted. That would give you 5,120.9 winners. And
Right.
because we can't have 0.9 winners, we would round that up to 5,121 winners.
And how do they split the reward?
They would split what was in that jackpot.
Okay.
So we're going to take 5121 and we're going to divide it by 3 drawings. And that equals 1,707 winners per drawing.
Okay.
So we'll have about 1,700 winners each time. And then this last jackpot was quite a bit. And so when you divided that jackpot by this number of winners, it equaled 10.99. So everyone that was already paid out last Wednesday got 10.99 per fuel cell that won. And it shows up right here in this box right here. It'll say how many fuel cells won and what your total amount of dark matter is. And then after this, and this will happen again after 5 days and 4 hours counting down. So let me refresh it just to make sure that this clock is more accurate. Yep, 5 days and 4 hours. So in 5 days and 4 hours, 1,700 more winners will be drawn. And it will depend on this right here. This is saying there's 14,244 dark up for grabs. And it's a little bit off because of something we'll get into in a little bit. We're actually fixing this table to be more understandable and more accurate about the next drawing. But basically, you got 30% of the jackpot that's going to be drawn out in 5 days, give or take. So that would this is going to equal about 8 dark matter per winner on this one. Does that make? I feel like I'm making it more complicated the more I answer.
No, I think that helped. It helped because I watched how you divided the total number of fuel cells by 21, and then saw how they got sort of a pro rata share of one of those pools.
Right. So this is, and the cool thing about the lottery is this is a nice dopamine hit. This is the icing on the cake, because as soon as I hit scrape and I pay the fees to the network, these tokens show up in my wallet as liquid tokens. I can go sell them. I can go liquidity provide. I can hang on to them for the next game to mint in the next game. So I basically get some free game pieces. But whether or not my fuel cell wins this lottery, it becomes a piggy bank afterwards. So on the last day of each journey, the treasury will pay out to every active fuel cell. And right now we've got about 25% of our supply already locked in the treasury. So the treasury's paid out about almost 13,000 dark so far that are inside the fuel cells from Journey 1 and 2. And then as Journey 3 ends, it will receive its first payment. And Journey 1 and Journey 2 will also receive payments. All
right. Is dark the same as dark matter? I see it worded differently, but I don't want to make any assumptions.
It is. It's all the same PRC20 token dark matter, and it has the same contract address right here.
All right.
So you use dark matter to get into the game, and then the lottery is paid in dark and the treasury is paid in dark.
Okay.
So we're using the same token in the whole system. The interesting thing about the treasury is that this is locked inside the NFTs. So this the payouts from the treasury are unavailable or unclaimable until you vaporize your fuel cell, till you break open your piggy bank.
I see.
So then it becomes a game of chicken to see who's willing to wait longer and let their piggy bank fill up fuller with dark matter.
Right.
And who just wants to smash it open as soon as the price jumps and they have a significant amount in there.
Kind of resembles those Watsas from a while back.
Exactly like the Watsas. Exactly. In fact, we took that piece of the Watsa, and when I minted the Watsa NFTs, I couldn't believe that there was only one chance to do it. I thought they should have had another round of minting.
Yeah.
they probably would have gotten a lot more people minting. So that, yeah, this is exact same game theory as where your piggy bank fills with coins until you smash it open. And if you smash it open, your share of the coins go to the other people who have not smashed open their piggy bank.
Okay.
Yep.
Fun.
And like I said, it starts out as dust because it's 3% split up amongst 161,000 piggy banks.
Right.
But as this treasury swells and bloats, the payouts become more and more significant. And at some point, it reaches a tipping point where it starts to exhaust the treasury because it's paying out to multiple wallets and it's compounding. And so eventually it will return to dust again. However, as long as Pulse Chain is running, this will continue to pay out every 45 days indefinitely.
Okay.
So there's definitely a curve and a sweet spot to mint these. And that's why Journey 1, 2, 3, and 4 are so valuable, is because they're going to get the lion's share of this treasury over time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get it. Very cool.
Awesome. Thanks. So like I said, now we've talked about you take the dark matter, you mint it for a fuel cell. The fuel cell has some cool art, and it also is a lottery ticket for 33 days, and then it turns into a piggy bank afterwards. So that's kind of the three main parts of the NFT. Now, zooming out to the evil address, that's the next tab here. The evil address has, it's got an unfair advantage. The evil address started out with 65% of the 1 million tokens. It's a smart contract that is set to mint almost all of its tokens into NFTs. And you can actually see the evil addresses minting schedule under our darker paper, which is on under our lottery tab. Community tab. Let me pull that up real quick.
I love it. Darker paper.
Thanks. we have a dark paper and a darker paper, but we have to update the dark paper because it's mostly ideas behind the game theory, and then this is really what kind of shows you the diagram of what's going on. So we started with 1 million dark tokens, and like I said, the evil address got 65% of that. The mystery box got 24% of that, and then 11% were given out to people that participated in the mining and the Wishwell era, and they also received airdrops. So we had close to 1,000 addresses given to us from No Permissions and Randy, and we got about 1,000 addresses from the Forge NFT holders.
Wow.
So that's where the bulk of supply hit the market. And as I said, when you mint 1-for-1, you mint one dark matter token into one AG NFT or fuel cell NFT. Then it gets split into the treasury, the jackpot or giveaway address, and the space toll or the team tax. So this is just basically where does the dark go after mint. So we don't burn it. We don't take it. It actually funds the entire game when you mint. So playing the game funds the game right here.
All right.
And going down here, this is the table I was talking about. Here's the evil address minting schedule, and it shows how many NFTs it's going to mint each journey. And then you have the reward payout schedule where it shows the yield from the treasury dropping by 10% every journey. And as you can see, the evil address has gone really heavy in the top 4, even the top 5, even the top 6. So the evil address is really basically following the schedule of the treasury payout. If you see, it's kind of inverse right there.
Yep.
And then at the end of so there's 33 journeys, which all last 45 days, which It's just barely over 4 years. This whole game will be about 4 years long. And at the end of those years, as you can see, the evil address is basically going to deplete itself in minting the game pieces. And the treasury will be paying out 29% every 45 days. So as you can see, imagine that would deplete and exhaust the treasury pretty quickly. I believe that the tipping point is somewhere here around 7, 8, or 9, where there's more money going into the treasury for the whole beginning, and then it hits a point where it's even amounts going out, and then it drops to where it depletes.
Okay.
So there's like a life cycle to our treasury, which our treasury had no tokens in it whatsoever when we started, and now it's got 25% of the supply. And as you can imagine, we're going to be doing a lot more of the supply is going to end up here in the treasury. And the other thing that, like I said, most people don't realize is that we only have 1 million tokens. There's no inflation. There's no way to get more. In fact, at the end of the 33 chances to mint or play the game, there's something called the rapture. So if you have dark matter tokens in a wallet and you're not using them in the game or for liquidity providing, they're going to be destroyed forever.
Wow.
So there will be a day when our circulating supply is 0 outside of LP. So no, we have never seen anyone do this before. It may skyrocket us up to insane values, and it might take us to 0. But that's one of the insane experiments that we're trying with this game.
Fun. Well,
Yeah.
Everybody very sticky.
Yeah, it's kind of like a game of chicken where someone says, I got a buy and burn token. And then someone says, well, I got a deflationary token. And then there's just a guy in the corner, like playing with a knife. He has a weird look on his face, like the Joker. And he's like, I'm taking mine to 0. That's us. We're the psycho in the corner that said we're taking our supply to 0. That's how seriously we take scarcity around here in anti-gravity. So again, let's go up here to tools. And now that you know what the evil address does and is, we've had a couple cool variations on the game come out, where basically the evil address was sitting on something like 17,000 dark matter tokens that it had won in lotteries, and it had not scraped or harvested them. And the collective, which is what we call our group, the good guys, the underdogs, the collective, they were able to hack the evil address and add this scrape button to, this was the one that was blurred out forever. You can basically steal the evil address's lottery winnings and roll them over into the next jackpot. Now, they robbed this evil address blind within hours of the last drawing. That's why there's a 0 right here. They abused the hell out of this button. It's got a fee on it. It was supposed to be $1 of pulse, but since pulse has dropped, it's like 60 cents a pulse that you pay, plus the transaction fee to hit this button. And people just hit this button until it just disappears almost right here.
Hammered.
And the other thing that you could do with the evil address is the evil address is a smart contract, and it is going to mint all of those into fuel cells. But if you want to piss him off, you can actually hit this button during the minting window and mint ahead of schedule for him. So you're basically minting on behalf of the evil address, and you're pumping money into the treasury and the lottery when you do so.
All right.
Yeah, so this is the evil tab. And of course, Vaporize, there's a really cool feature here that we're working on moving to another place on the website. And that's because you don't even want to come here. You don't want to even go close to this button, approve and vaporize. You do not want to break open your piggy bank, especially this early in the game. And if you were to break a piggy bank open that's a journey 3, it would actually kick you, like you wouldn't even be eligible for the lottery. So you definitely don't want to hit, vaporize. But the one feature that is worth coming here for some of you is if you just hit 7. So I've got 7 fuel cells in here. I'm going to click 7, and instead of hitting approve and vaporize, I don't want to do that. There's this little button right here. It says view selected fuel cells. And you can see those fuel cells that I was showing you on Pulse Market app. So here's the 3 from Journey 3 that haven't been paid anything yet. Here's the one from Journey 2 that's got 0.04 dust accumulated in it. And then here's the Michael Jordan rookie cars that have 0.07. So at the end of this journey, 3 will receive its first payment, 2 will receive its second, and Journey 3s will receive their third payment. So as you can see, this is going to accumulate a lot faster with the older ones than with the newer ones.
Right. Right.
And like I said, we plan on moving this feature to another place on the site, so you don't have to come to this dangerous neighborhood and risk nuking yourself by vaporizing.
Cool.
Yeah. And we get all of our art for the NFTs from a community contest. So if you go to Twitter right here and you go to communities, there's a group called The Collective, and you do have to join this in order to participate. But here, for instance, Zephyr Trips just barely put this up for the art contest, and we count the likes and the retweets here as votes. So nice. I'm also going to like it, and I'm going to repost it. When you repost it, it actually goes outside of the community so that everyone on Twitter can see it. But this is where you got to put it to get the votes. And right now we only have 26 members in here. We have 418 people in our Telegram, and only 26 have wandered in here. And most of them are the people competing, in the art contest. But one of these pieces of art is going to be chosen for the NFT in Journey 4. And like I said, there's just insanity going on with the passion and creativity here. We have just insane. We have songs, we have poems, we have videos, we have art, we have all sorts of crazy things going on right now. That one of these is going to be to win that. And like I said, the way that we set this up, here's a dragon one from Zephyr Trips. Interesting, beautiful stuff. A lot of stuff with the evil address, a lot of stuff with mystical fantasy and sci-fi stuff here. So our community is hands down the best damn community in crypto. Like, I'll put my 50 psychopath badasses against 1 million Robinhood traders, and I guarantee that our products are going to win over theirs.
Oh yeah, we got some real creatives here.
I thought this would be a fun way to give some more emotion to the art, and it is. But the top finalists, they all receive 10,000 reward points and 10 dark. I'm sorry, 1 dark, and then the winner, the final winner, gets 10 dark and 1 million reward points. So this is a way to pay back and let the community really put their fingerprints and their hands on the project and be a part of it from from their work. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I could even see a point where you put together sort of a overview analytics of the whole system, where it's kind of like traveling the galaxy or something, and you can see the Journey 1 guys out in front and Journey 2 and Journey 3, and inside each of those you might have the stats or something associated with that. How many fuel cells are there in that place, and how many in the next, and how many in the next? But it just gives you a high level galactic look at the whole game.
Yeah, and those are the things that we're working on with our developers right now, and the website is making the information easy to read, easy to follow, and more intuitive than it currently is. And so we hope to have a place where you can see all the stats on J1, J2, J3, J4, and you can also see all the stats on your own NFTs on our site.
Right.
Yeah, so that's cool. The reward points are something that I don't think we've covered. I think that might be on, I think I need to pull it up over here. So when we were starting to raise money for bootstrapping this project, we had something called the the wish well, which was basically a wish well, a galactic wish well, where you could go throw cryptocurrency and make a wish. And so basically, it was basically like like an actual true sacrifice phase where you were just literally throwing money into a wish well and making a wish, right? Of course, we were using those funds to build the code and get the audits and things done. But let's see here, desktop AG. We came up with this rewards program for them, which is these are the reward points that I was talking about with the art contest. So every dollar was worth so many points, and then you got bonuses for participating in more than one fundraising part. And you also get points, reward points, every time you mint a game piece. But basically, you start out as an informant, which has this as its symbol, and there's really no rewards. In fact, there's not really any rewards, so you get all the way up to lead operator, which has about 10,000 reward points. So anyone that was, in the top finalists of that art project, they would hit lead operator, and they get some cool stickers and swag right here that we would send, that we've mailed to quite a few people. And then you work your way up the ranks, and you go from operator to technician to agent to navigator to officer to admiral. And the highest rank we have right now is second navigator. So these guys have several million points from donating really heavily in the mining phase and also minting a ton of the NFTs. So like these guys get spacesuits embroidered with, their name on it. And then they also receive everything leading up to that. So all these printed out posters and stickers and patches and all that, and pins. So they get a whole plethora of stuff going on here. But we haven't seen people in the future. We're going to see how many points people can earn, because the next thing we have are like backpacks, laptop cases, nothing great. But then it moves into like custom watches, custom suits. And if someone is bananas enough to go all the way to Grand Admiral, which is 332 million points, by the way, they get a high-end car and a Grand Admiral cat. So we would be giving out a high-end, we're talking about $120,000 car and a very, very fancy hat.
How about that?
And obviously they would get everything leading up to that as well. The custom watch, the suit, tailored suit, laptop, things like that, all leading up to here. So this is a side game that the community knows a lot about, but I don't think many people out in crypto land know that there's reward points and there's the dark matter as well.
And are these associated with the NFTs, or are these? How does somebody contain these?
Well, at first people earn points by throwing money in the wish well, and we raised maybe $20,000 or $30,000 there. And then we did the mining phase, and people got points for mining.
But what is the ledger for these points? Are they held and captured by the NFT or some other way?
Some of these points are automated by things like minting the NFTs, and other points of these are manually added by our team to the back end. So when we have things like the art contest here, these would be manually added.
But added to what? To a person's name in an Excel spreadsheet, or
it's tied to the address. It's tied to the wallet address.
Okay.
So like here, if we go to the minting page, we actually have the leaderboard on the website. So if you scroll down here, this will show the points and the ranks, and they're tied to the wallet address.
Okay, there you go. Tied to a wallet address.
Yep. In fact, this demo account is number 163. It's still an informant. It's not doing great.
Okay, so if somebody wants to sell some of their fuel cells, they're not losing that reward point stuff.
Nope, you'd never lose your reward points.
Okay.
They're there. You're there with your ring forever, and we'll be changing this whole point structure right here to 500 points per NFT minted. So this formula is going to go away, and it's just going to be 500 reward points for every NFT you mint.
All right.
And then the other thing that is also a side project is the sci-fi novel. So if you go to our Anti-Gravity Saga Telegram and you click on Rings of Dust book, we've actually had people helping us revise and edit a 25 chapter sci-fi novel that goes over all of this. So what we're doing is we're writing all the tokenomics that I've been explaining to you over the last 20, 30 minutes. All of them are going to be embedded into this story that we're working on right here. And we've been paying these people who have been reviewing the rough draft in reward points and dark matter tokens.
Wow.
So you can earn dark matter tokens and reward tokens with art, with helping with the book, and with minting the NFTs. All those things will push you up in the ranks and give you more of those rewards.
Wow, that's pretty engaging. That's a lot to stay on top of.
We're maybe one of the stickiest communities, and again, as you can tell, one of the most complex and hard to understand communities in crypto at the same time. To where, yeah, we always have something going on, because we at first, these journeys were going to be 120 days long, with 30 days in between the lotteries. And thank God we shortened it to 11 days segments, because even at 11 days, we are losing people's interest. Or for instance, someone may come upon some dark matter, either as a gift or they go buy some, and they'll say, what do I do? And I have to say, you got to wait 16 days and 19 hours to join the next round. And that doesn't work very well in stickiness and keeping people's attention in crypto, right?
Yeah.
So we're actually building another game on top of this, on top of dark, which is basically Russian roulette. And it will market by dark, and it will be played in stable tokens. So we're going to let people play Russian roulette while they wait for the next lottery as well.
There you go. Game within a game.
Yeah, and something that adds buy pressure and does market buys on thin liquidity. So a cool thing all around. And then, of course, I don't know if you've heard the lore of the Pink Mist Well, but this game is in honor of the Pink Mist Well. Pink Mist Well is this address that we've tracked since the beginning. It ends in 8090. In the beginning, we thought that this address belonged to Randy Hilarski because he was so engaged and supportive of the community in the beginning. But over time, we found out that this address, and this address, every time we would create a smart contract, this address would go donate money to the smart contract address before we had shared it with anybody.
Wow.
Yeah. So whoever this is really adept at reading the blockchain and finding things that people haven't published. But they have minted more NFTs than anyone else. They're sitting on more dark matter than most people, and they've market bought tens of thousands of dollars of dark when it was low. So everything you could ever want a whale to do, this whale has done. In fact, we created this Pink Mist Whale token on tires.pump, and we told people all we want you to do with this token is send it to the Pink Mist Whale's address. That's it. And if you send Pink Mist Whale token to his address, then we will reward you with the NFT game pieces. And for a while, they were getting a dark token too. So people started sending millions and millions of Pink Mist Whale tokens to this address. And he's sitting on 72% of the supply right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is what the chart looks like for the token, which is like, if you want to see the power of a community, this is the price chart right here.
Wow. That's amazing.
And this, like I said, this is only 73% that he holds. These big red candles are where he sold it for dark matter and minted during the last minting phase.
Okay.
So he sold it and bought dark, and then sold it again and bought dark, and then now he's just sitting on it, either waiting till the next window to open, or who knows how high this chart could go if people send it to someone who never sells.
True.
The reason that I talk about the pink mist well so much, though, is that there's about 11% of the supply locked in liquidity. So altogether, they've got about 84% of the total supply locked. The interesting thing about dark matter, as I said earlier, was that there's less than 1 million tokens. And out of those 1 million tokens, 500 have been burned or sent to the dark matter address. And where is it? Right here. I don't have it. I have way too many tabs open. That's what's wrong with me. Basically, in the top 6 wallets of dark, there's 94% locked up. 3 of them are the smart contracts for the evil address, the treasury, and the lottery. One of them is the mystery box, which has been providing liquidity and doing giveaways. And then there's 2 wells, one of them including this pink mist well. So if you think about, diamond hands, we have 94% of our supply basically in diamond hands already. And more of it is going to go into the treasury, which is going to reward the NFT holders.
Have you noticed, I'm assuming you got a dark chart, a chart of dark, whether it's pulse or whatever you want to measure it by.
Yeah, the top 4.
Have you noticed any sort of like cyclical behaviors, around journeys? Like price does this right before journeys start, or does this right after journeys end, or whatever.
Yeah, we actually had a chart with bear faces and bull faces on it because we expect the price of dark to dump after every lottery payout, because you have you have this big pile of sell pressure, and if people don't want to go to bistro, they can just sell it on the market.
Right.
So we were expecting these, dumps during the lottery. The problem with the lottery was that it coincided with every black swan event we've had for the last 6 months.
Oh, so you can't read through it.
Like it was synchronistic is the word that Frank Polanski used. It was spooky how much our dumps lined up with Pulse Chain's dumps. And then we would try to do, a minting phase, which should be a bull run on our chart, should be people buying dark to play the game. But a lot of those were met with black swan events where the Hart's Law took everything down, even up to and including the lottery hit right during all this PDI stuff last Wednesday. Right, so we're almost afraid to hold these lotteries anymore because every time we do, the world melts. But you can see that pattern, and in a less crazy market, you would be able to see that 45-day pattern repeating. And we believe that a lot of people would see this pattern and come to trade it. Traders love a good pattern, right? And so unfortunately, we haven't been able to paint the chart with the 45-day pattern. It's just been death and dismemberment from the last few months. But what we have seen is that for the most part, dark has gone straight.
Okay.
And so in this market, straight, like ranging is winning.
Yeah, straight's pretty good right now.
And so we've seen it pop back up and stick around $15, $13. It's been all the way down to $9 with the recent PDI extravaganza. But I think that as soon as people realize how few dark matter there actually are on the market and how valuable those NFTs might be in the future, we could see a real frenzy.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You got some good dynamics behind it that are, similar to Watsas and all that. So you got the right game theory programmatics.
Yeah, and it's a lot to hit someone with. I mean, you've been in this. You're at a level where you've had to do a lot of these mental exercises to figure out Actuator.
Right.
So I can throw a concept at you and your brain has already kind of like played with it and absorbed it. A lot of people their brains have not played with any of these ideas.
Well, right. Yeah. Imagine if you're fairly new, you don't even know what a watts is. So you don't even understand the concept. You got to digest all that stuff.
Yeah. It took me 3 days to get to understand what a watts was.
Right. And then
And I was
looked at it first.
I was streaming about crypto every day with geniuses.
I know.
It was still like, I got to figure out this game. What is this? What is this? So yeah, it's a lot to swallow, and that's why we've kind of taken the approach of this is a fun game. Check out this amazing art. You might want to buy some of these NFTs and play the lottery, and then kind of like slowly work your way into this universe of imagination and really strange tokenomics.
Yeah. Well, it's super creative, and you're a super creative blended with technical, which is really unusual. There's very few people I run into where they've got a strong aptitude for the technical and they're just creative. So it's great to see you bring both of those to the project.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you. I tell people that Pulse Chain is 2 cycles ahead of everyone else in crypto.
Yeah.
In 2 cycles, you'll hear the other communities talk about the stuff that we're talking about when it comes to liquidity providing and rehypothecation and just the way that you're fractionalizing and creating dividends out of a scarce resource like a TShare. That's stuff that most people couldn't wrap their heads around and probably won't for about 4 or 8 years. We're 3 cycles ahead, not because we're more advanced, we're just crazier than the regular people in Pulse. We're willing to experiment with stuff it's just crazy. It's just insanity.
We've got a great community within Pulse Chain and then the various different sub sections of Hex and PulseX and your project, where there are so many things they share. They're all innovators. We're all innovators. I've noticed, problem solvers. You learn how to press through and find solutions. We all have elements of creativity expressed in different ways, whether it's the type you're bringing with this project, or it could be in how game theory comes together or what have you. But these are critical traits to have working with a network effect within one community like this. And I think that just makes us incredibly strong and out in front, which we've had to be to endure all the kinds of gatekeeping and nonsense we faced.
Well, yeah, not just that, but also, building on Pulse Chain is a challenge.
Right.
Our devs spend as much time fixing and adding things to Pulse Chain as they did working on our own code, because there's a lot of raw and decentralized pieces that you have to bring. You have to build what you want on it.
Right. The infrastructure is not all there yet. You don't have all the oracles at all the levels you want. You don't have all the things you're used to build. And so that's why I say we're problem solvers. If we don't have it, we'll find it, build it, bring it, coordinate it.
Tenacious. Yes, we're a very, very tenacious
a good word.
Community that just doesn't give up. And
right.
So, yeah, but the reason that we planted our flag in Pulse was because this is where the community is.
Right.
We did a lot of the test net and a lot of the fundraising on Base and Pulse, and everything on Base works perfectly, but there's no community there. And so, okay, you want me to join you? Okay, love you. So yeah, it was like people are what give value to money. Money is just ones and zeros, right, or numbers on it about them.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So yeah, I agree. I couldn't say anything better about this community. It's the people I want to be with through this insane bleeding edge tech that is new, and we don't even know all the uses that crypto provides yet.
Right.
We're still just scratching the surface.
And look at all the content creating, that on top of all the other things you're doing, you're content creating and you're socially engaging and all the things that so many of our other content creators are doing. it's just an incredible community of people that collectively are building something that genuinely has value.
Yeah. I'm going to hit the comments here really quick. More NFTs are selling on Pulse Market. That's true. Like I said, check the address, because until someone reaches out and lets me know who that is and if we can reliably know if they've scraped their winnings or not, those may or may not be live or dead lottery tickets. I'm just going to say that. So yeah, but every NFT is still going to be a piggy bank, whether that's the case or not. This is such a great walkthrough. Thank you so much. No, thank you for being here. Good presentation. Thank you, CryptoCat46. 100 NFTs per journey, not financial advice. So he's shooting for 100 NFTs per journey. That's pretty good. Is it possible to acquire J1 or J2 sell still? Oh, that answers it. Yeah, so we may sell some there, but then sometimes we run some little games on Telegram where we say the next 3 people to send 1 million Pink Miss Well to the Pink Miss Well address, they get like this package of NFTs. So we've been doing that as well. And that's where Hexty says, you may want to check out Pink Miss Well token deals on our Telegram. You just never know how benevolent Pink Miss Well can be. Yeah, so awesome. And we've got more tricks up our sleeve. We've got a lot more tricks up our sleeve that we don't even talk about, because we got to see if the devs can build it, first of all. And then second of all, everything in crypto is hard. If you tell people you're going to have something done in 2 weeks.
Yeah, don't do that.
You're like, we thought we could get this out and ready in 3 months when we first started on it. That was 4 years ago, Bill.
Building is hard. It just is, because you got to make it right. You don't get to pull it back.
Yes, definitely. And I've got this right here.
Cool.
From Vegas, and
Yeah.
I've been sipping out of my copper Actuator mug.
I love it.
Well.
That's good.
So shout out to you guys on stream. You and Robbie really put a lot of work into something before jumping into the market and the community and offering to sell tokens. You guys didn't just say, well, we've got an idea, just start buying this, we'll figure it out. Right. You guys really took the ethos of Richard Hart and finished code and audited it and made it immutable and out of the hands of any near dwellers, right?
That's right. All those important things, no admin keys, self-custody, all the stuff.
Yeah, the work that you had done before even showing up in Forge just blew me away. And it's really inspiring. And I think it's what this community is made for. There's really good products like yours that, like I said, they're going to take maybe 2 or 3 cycles for the rest of crypto or the rest of the world to catch on. But that's where the opportunity lies, is seeing something and being somewhere early. And like I said, I love the fact that I can take what was just Hex just sitting there because I didn't know what to do. A little bit before that, I had everything 99% locked before the last bull run.
Right.
So I round tripped it because I was a good hexagon. I did an EES. I was riding that baby.
Right.
And so this time I'm like, okay, that didn't work so well. Like I probably should have taken much more profits in 2022. But having said that, yeah, this is such a great hybrid between staking and keeping things flexible and liquid enough to take profit so that you don't round trip again. Right. And so I really appreciate and thank you guys for putting this product together.
Oh, well, thanks for those great comments and thanks for having me on here today.
Yeah, you did great. We're at 2 hours and 23 minutes. You're hanging in there like a pro. Most of my guests are like, I gotta pee, or my daughter's at school waiting for me to pick her up.
Oh yeah. So, well, we'll take care of those things when we finish here.
You're killing it. You're killing it. But yeah, just a shout out to that. And it's great to share this with people. And I love sharing Bistro with other founders too, because there's that liquidity is such a two-edged sword. You want to have enough liquidity for big guys to come in and big guys to go out. But at the same time, when you're tied to something in the market that has a flaw in it, it takes us all down with it like an anchor. So it's we thinned our liquidity out like crazy a few weeks ago, and asked people that were nice enough to provide liquidity to stop, and instead farm that liquidity in other places. And then we've just been pushing everyone to Bistro, and Bistro is, like I said, there's nowhere else right now you're going to get full price for your tokens or get a good deal on your tokens because of how insane the price movements are and liquidity. So
it's great to have a variety of tools. That's really important.
It definitely is. So, like I said, if you and Robbie have any questions, obviously you guys have my information. Hit me up whenever, and we probably do a follow up, because I'll probably get a lot of people that have questions after this that I didn't ask or that we didn't go over. So hit me up on Twitter and Telegram, or Bill as well. How do people follow you on Twitter and Telegram, and what else do you have at the Actuator site that we didn't get into?
Yeah, everything is listed right there at actuator.finance. So you can go there and find it. You can also go to t.me/actuator finance. That's a great spot to go. We've got some knowledgeable people in there. You can make suggestions, ask questions. We try to be pretty responsive, and we try to be, we listen to what the community is trying to do and try to fold that into improvements on the UI and DApp. So take a look at us there.
Yeah, I have one that says Actuator Announcements. Is that the same one as Actuator Finance?
No, that's an old one. So that one isn't operational anymore. That was kind of an early one.
Okay, then I need to update mine, because I have that one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Actuator Finance, join group.
That's the primary.
Awesome. Yeah, and then you have Pulse Chain Shills going down there. So a bunch of stuff going on with that one. So I want to put this in our in our comments as well.
Everything that's real you'll find at actuator.finance.
Yes. Yep. And on Twitter, your C3 Works?
C3 Works _ACTR.
Okay, great. Yeah, so follow him on Twitter as well. And ask any questions. Him and Robbie have been very helpful and responsive as holding my hand through this, because again, like learning a new ecosystem, it takes time. So thank you for your time and your patience, and for creating a really good protocol. I don't know if, we've talked about this before in the green room, but I forgot to claim my Actuator tokens before I added to my position. And in other protocols, I would have lost those incentive tokens. Whereas Actuator actually claimed those as part of that function and made sure I didn't lose those Actuator tokens. So it's the thought and the detail that these guys have put into the protocol, and the robustness and security of this product that you don't see that in many other places in crypto right now. So shout out to you guys. Hats off to you and Robbie.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet. All right, let's play some of these videos again going out, because you can't get enough of this. This is J3's winning piece of art, this 2-minute strange AI movie trailer. Check this out. Isn't that a cool black hole at the end? I have no idea what it means.
That's pretty wild. In fact, that's a power soundtrack too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna get us nabbed for copyrights, but that's okay. We'll just keep playing it. This one right here is a quick trailer by Red Squirrel. It's really pretty. That kind of like goes over a primer of the project right here.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's first class stuff.
Yeah, Red Squirrel says still waiting for my 1000 dark. I sent them to Wilhelm. Wilhelm gave me an address, so I sent them to Wilhelm. You're gonna have to check with Wilhelm on that one.
Hopefully he knows.
He actually wrote a spin-off to our novel, which is quite interesting there in our Telegram. You'll have to check that out sometime. And then, of course, we got Corey, an investor, which we'll go out with last, but we're going to go with AJ Rip City Hex that took from Smo Spider and Red Squirrel and Cape Figor. And there's like 8 or 9 people that are all wrapped into this collaboration. So this is the one that we played down there in Panama for you guys.
Nova is here, he's the leader of Alpha, leading the charge. Yeah. With his main man Heavy, hit up right by, hit his side at the raid. Together they fight, the guards that corner, rich and valor, fighting for good. They refuse to back down in this war for justice. They wear the crown. Nova and Heavy Hitter, they rise from the dust. For the cause, they never back down. With Big Boy Leroy, his feet firmly underground. In the face of danger, they fight through it all. Champions of hope, they rise to the top.
This one is about you, okay? See a man was a tree, so we all walk now. Feel like
through shadows of doubt, they light up the way. With power and purpose, they seize every day. Their enemy tremble in the dark. Nova and Heavy Hitter, our heroes embark in the big galaxy that's covered by night. They bring the fire and ammunition to ignite. For it's Alpha they serve, their honor was true. Nova and Heavy Hitter, they rise from the dust. Fighting for the cause, they never back down. With Big Boy Leroy, his feet firmly on the ground. In the face of danger, they fight through it all. Champions of hope, they rise to the top. For every shadow, they bring the light. Nova and Alpha, defenders of the right.
Yeah, there we go.
That's-
CryptoCat knows it's the right. It's the right. Red
Yes.
Squirrel and Wilhelm. All right, and then of course the last one here is the one we started on, Corey and Investor Dark Matter, where he literally like does a tutorial in a rap, which is great. So here's a Corey and Investor Dark Matter.
I'm talking AGP, anti-gravity, project I respect, staying true to the tech. We got the evil address and the pink Miss Will, got the dark matter token going up, I can tell. Hey, I can tell this is the start of something fresh. Shout out Hex Revision and on the Hex, yes. I confess, Hexicans don't stress, cause as a community we one up. So tell me, are you in, or tell me, are you out? Do you want to win, or do you chase the clout? What is this really about? The treasury and lottery. If you meant dark tokens, you can get a part of it. So how does it work? Let me explain. First you buy the dark token, now you're in the game. Then you mint the dark and get a fuel cell. That's an NFT, one that earns yield. As long as you have it, it feels like magic. But if you vaporize the NFT, that's tragic. So most think crypto is a game. Are you here for the fame or here to make a name? See, Hexicans reign, we create our own lane. I thought I told you, we the new financial gain. AGproject.io with the flow. And if you know what I know, then you know what I know. That's just how it go. Something like to support the team, the dream. Public service announcement, t.me/anti-gravity saga. It's the Telegram. Tap in. It's for y'all. I'm talking AGP, anti-gravity, project I respect, staying true to the tech. We got the evil address and the pink Miss Will, got the dark matter token going up, I can tell.
That's it, folks. You guys have been more than patient. And Bill, you've been an amazing guest. Thank you so much for diving so deep into two very complex products and projects. My hat off to you.
You got us through there efficiently and effectively.
And we'll pick up the debate on flat Earth and round Earth at another time, because Bill knows a lot of stuff. He knows a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. So not only is he a great founder, but he's a good conversationalist. So till next time, love you guys. I might be streaming late doing the Sleepy Tea Roulette on X. But if not, I'll be on here tomorrow. So love you guys.
All right.
Ciao.
Thanks.